Welcome to the Coquitlam Whiskey Barrel Podcast with your hosts, Uncle Corey and Uncle Dono.
Recording off some bullshit.
He left his Stanley Cup back on the ice in 1980.
It's embarrassing.
Let's give Corey a round of applause like you were the fucking service staff at a wedding.
Who shot ya? Separate the weak from the obsolete.
Okay, now we're going.
What the fuck is that? I can't even...
Okay, I can't crack another one.
Okay, cracked. Okay, fuck it. Here we go. I'm not even logged on.
What season are we on? 6?
What season are we on?
I think it's 6.
You'd think that the fact that we've been sitting here for the last 3 hours?
Yeah.
That we would have discussed some version of this before you just said, okay, let's get that going.
Our views have gone horribly south.
Yeah, because our...
Season 5, episode 2, 4 views.
Yeah, and they're all me. That's fine. It's not relevant. Who cares? We didn't come here for the... Okay, we didn't come here for the ice cream. We didn't come here for the likes. Okay, pal?
That's
or
views. That's not even likes. They're not even liking our
Not
stuff.
one of these fucking assholes that's listening to this. You know, at one point... So, where are we? Season 6?
Season 6, episode 1.
Season 6, episode 1. Okay, so... Before we even go into this, if you're listening to this at all, understand the amount of hours that it has been that Sayers and I have taken out of our regular lives. Now, me, let's be honest, okay?
You got some time.
I have time. Sayers has a job, has a wife, has children, multiple. He's a busy guy. Me, on the other hand, I was trying to live that lifestyle, and...
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
It wasn't for you.
It turns out it's been great not being that way.
Right.
So the rest of you that are thinking of getting out, get the fuck out. Anyway, so now, listen. This has been hours and hours and hours, and now here we are. We're on the 6th season. It just feels good to start. It just feels good to press play, press record, and don't look at me try to sign up with my credentials. None of them are working, pal.
It was, last weekend signified the start of the fantasy season, I think, with our draft selection order.
Yeah.
And so now, the 3 or 4 of us that actually do prepare, we can start preparing.
Yeah.
And the other guys can show up 10 minutes before and hope someone printed them off a top 300 sheet.
Yeah. I'm so done with that.
I'm not printing any sheets this year.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I'm in another league and people are talking about we're talking about draft days, etc. And I just said, hey, what do you guys think about an auction league? And I got universally panned immediately. They said, no way, not interested, too many newbies in here. And I'm like, we've played together for 3 years. Who are the newbies? Who are we protecting from being able to give them a $200 budget and they
go buy whoever they want?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm sorry, but get fucked.
I'd love to be in an auction league. It's just not. This is now my only league, and I'm not moving it to an auction.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
You don't want this to be your only league.
I don't want this to be
in
my
2
only
other
league
leagues, aren't you?
No, I'm only in 1, pal. I'm down to 1.
This is the only...
This is it.
What happened to your other ones?
I'm out.
Oh, this is good. What happened?
I've been out.
No.
Yeah, last year I was down to 1.
Just this one?
Yeah.
And what happened last year in this one?
I, again, won a bunch of money. Walked off into the sunset. You guys all paid me, and I left.
If I could just figure out how to get my goddamn fucking... Okay, listen, this is dead air for a reason. I'm trying to get my ESPN fantasy working, and it's not working, and Sayers is just watching me and mocking me. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, so let's... Wait. That ding? That wasn't one of you assholes trying to call in. Because, of course, why would ya? You just take, you fucking take. All of you fucking homeless people. Yes, this is me. Okay, so you were down to just 1 last season.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. You made it. You made it far.
3 out of the last 4 years, pal.
3 out of the last
All the
4
way to the
years.
dance.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I go.
So you get roasted credit, or do you just want to explain what your version is that happened last year?
Do you want the long and the short of it,
Sure.
or do you want the workaround?
I'll take the long and the short of it.
Okay. The long and the short of it is I had the best team in the league.
Mhm.
I won most points for.
Mhm.
I finished first. I breezed my way to the finals.
Yep.
Put up the lowest points I had put up all year and got unlucky.
So how did that make you feel?
$850 richer.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I felt bad for you in that moment. I didn't
Okay.
feel bad for me. I felt bad for you. I felt bad for Perry. I felt bad for Amit. I felt bad for Mr. Nightingale. Former champions. I felt bad for all of you guys.
Why is that? Why?
Well, I'll draw this comparison. Why are diamonds so expensive?
Rare.
Right.
Supposed to be rare.
Sure. Now, what if everybody could afford a diamond? Would they be well sought after? Would they be prestigious? If the homeless people could walk next door and buy diamonds.
No, of course. It's their value comes from their scarcity.
Yeah.
From
So the upper class, the high class people,
for sure.
they're the ones that can afford to buy diamonds, and the lower class citizens look up to it.
Yeah.
They strive to achieve it.
Well, I don't know if I've ever bought diamonds, and I've bought diamonds, thinking that the lower class citizens are gonna see the diamonds I paid for.
Diamonds wouldn't be as desirable if everyone could afford them.
100%. That's the whole market for diamonds.
Sure. So if the poorest people could afford diamonds, would they be desirable? No. That's what you're telling me.
Sure.
Vis-a-vis, if the worst team in the league can win the belt, what's the value of the belt?
I get it.
What's the value of the belt?
Well, the value of the belt is a victory. It means...
This is where I felt bad for you guys. You guys who have, won way in the past, or maybe won once or twice, that meant something. And that you had a strong team and you did something. But now, Joe Blow, the bum on Hastings, is buying diamonds, and you're going, well, why do I have this diamond ring?
So you're trying to say that the belt has been... Because, okay, hold. You're going to have to walk me through this a little bit. Because I'm saying... I understand the analogy with diamonds.
Sure.
You don't want everybody to be able to afford diamonds. Not you don't want to, but that's part of their value. Is the fact that there are diamonds are a limited supply. They're super rare, and when you give somebody diamonds, it's like, holy shit! I can't afford $1,000 on a ring right now for that.
Yep.
And that's all part of it.
Sure.
So are you alluding that the belt and the trophy are like diamonds if everybody could afford them?
At this point now.
Because what I'm saying is they seem pretty rare because 12, 13 years in the league, it looks like only 3 people have been able to get these diamonds.
But it doesn't mean you have to have money to get them.
Oh,
fantasy points are currency here. And the poorest person in the league walked away with the diamond.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's an interesting way to cry yourself to sleep about how you didn't ever get any diamonds. But yeah,
I don't need diamonds. I got those greenbacks, singles we call them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, well that's great. So what happened in the final?
You'd have to pull it back up. I think I only put up like 105 points.
I'm trying to pull a lot of things up, but
okay. Yeah, you just go into the playoff bracket.
Mm-hmm.
This is this current year, pal. That's your issue. You got to go into the
history.
history.
I know. I'm all fucked up. I don't know what.
That's okay. Just calm down. Go into league, top level. Yeah, history. There you go.
There we go. Okay, I'm right here. Okay, now let's pull this bad boy up. Now,
Scoreboard.
Scoreboard. Okay, I'm sorry for that awkward pause for you guys. I'm sure it was really difficult. Okay, so you made it. Now,
I was up against a guy who was averaging, I think, 85 points throughout the year.
Now I don't know how to. I'm not going to break that down.
That's okay.
So what I'm saying is, let me give you a little preemptive.
Sure.
Because as far as I'm concerned,
yes.
and I think there's only one person who really meticulously has worked the box score our entire over a decade and a half almost
Sure.
of this league, and that's Brad Patterson. And he's looked into who's gotten the most points, who's done this, who's done that.
Sure.
Which is great. It's been a cool little hobby of his, and he's just been able to say, hey, do you know that, Don, you've won more championships, but you don't fucking score any fantasy points?
Right.
And I always go, that's great, as I sleep on my rings.
Right.
But going into this one, I don't think I've ever seen, in this league at least, and I've been there since day one, domination like what your team was last year.
Right.
Right? If you recall to the year before that, there was a time where you said to me, do you even think you're making the playoffs,
Yeah.
Don? And I said, I always make the playoffs. I fucking win fantasy. That's what I do.
Right.
And you put me at a 3% chance of even
Make it.
making the playoffs. And I won the league.
Yeah.
Which is what I do. Now, which is like me going, oh yeah, shit, I guess Big Boy should wake up and start making more trades than I was already making. So as somebody who's won a bunch of years of the fantasy
Yep.
league, the championship, Jesus Christ, I'm
The
Jesus.
the pre Corey era and the post.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Either way, you guys don't know what we're looking at right now, and it's great. Anyway, so now, more importantly, so last year, though, it was a shit kicking. Last year, and I was in the league, it was a shit kicking, and it wasn't even close. Like, your team was so good every single week.
Yeah.
It was, if you were going up against Dreams and Nightmares, or Sleepies and Xanax, or whatever the fuck you wanted to call it. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, okay, maybe I gotta avoid the chainsaw. It was, there's 4 chainsaws, and you have no protection. It's a wrap for anybody going against you. So, I don't like to give credit, especially with somebody like yourself, where you have so much disrespect for the belt and the trophy, and a lot of the league with their people's feelings, maybe your feelings on them in general,
Sure,
whatever, all those versions. But you have to look. Game recognizes game,
right?
And I've never even seen dominance like last year that you had.
And all that gets you is $150, right? That just gets you your money back. All you need is a ticket to the dance, and then you never know what can happen.
Yeah, but you've gotten so many tickets to the dance.
Oh, I've been to the dance 3 of the last 4 years.
So
Sorry, I've been to the finals 3 of the last.
So
4 years.
why aren't you dancing with anybody? Do you get what I'm saying?
You sure?
Because I'm looking.
well, who would you take in last year's matchup? Jonathan
No,
Taylor or
there's-
Michael Carter?
No, I'm with you. Let's
You know
look
what
at that. But let's hype up the match a
Okay.
little bit, because now I've got it queued up. Corey really rushed it to the front seat of the car and didn't let me get my laptop open so that we'd have any of these notes.
Okay, all right.
So last year, the finals. Let's recap that real quick.
We can go back even further. Go to week 1 of the playoffs.
Week 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, just go back. Just go back a page.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. And,
This is dead air. You know nobody likes this dead air.
No, we got 4 listeners. If they haven't tuned out already, they
Okay.
Okay, playoff round 1.
Yep.
Just look at the comparative journey, right?
Me and you mean?
Yeah. No.
Well, it was me and you.
Yeah, and I beat the piss out of you, right?
The
By
piss.
50?
Yeah. You killed me by 40% of my points.
Right.
Yeah.
So that wasn't terribly fun. And my opponent in the finals won with 84 points. Would have lost to almost everybody else in the league, right? Actually, everybody else in the playoffs he would have lost to, except for you and the guy he played. And my opponent won by 15. Had the biggest week he could have had.
You still would have beat him.
Click on the box score of his.
I like that I'm just fumbling through this, and I
is-
feel like you've read this a million times.
No, but this is how it broke down last year. Okay, if you scroll down to the bottom here, we look at the defenses, right?
Oh, defenses, yeah.
Sure. The Miami Dolphins defense on Kurt's team put up
27 points.
and the Seahawks defense put up
6.
So that morning, Kurt messages me because a delinquent owner had picked up the Miami Dolphins defense. illegally. He was out of the playoffs. He had no reason to pick anybody up. Kurt had put a bid on them, and they lost.
Was I the delinquent owner?
No.
I feel like I wouldn't have done that,
No.
but if it was,
I'm
don't
not
have to
going to say
explain
he
it.
resembles a bag of milk.
No, but I'm not saying that you have to. Well, I resemble a bag of milk.
Sure.
But I'm not saying you have to say it. I'm just saying if I had to stand up for myself, I would have. But once you're out of the playoffs, you don't pick up. You don't add drop.
No,
we don't.
exactly.
We don't operate.
So Kurt messaged me. He goes, "Hey, let me know. Blah blah blah. This is what happened." I said, "No problem. I'll make the switch back."
Right.
You bid on them.
I already see.
You got them. Take the Miami defense. Fill your boots. He goes, "Okay, thanks, man."
I already see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. So then he decides for some reason to play the Seahawks defense,
Which got 6 points.
which got 6 points.
And the Dolphins D that he messaged you that he said he really wanted to add, and you gave him the opportunity. You said, you know what, these guys shouldn't be playing with those games.
Yep.
Absolutely.
21.
And he doesn't put them in, so that's a 21-point difference. At which point, Kurt would have beat you by 5 points.
So
6 points actually. It stinks.
it was a horrible decision. I remember it because I played the Miami defense in like a DFS thing because they were going up against the 4th string quarterback from New Orleans.
Yeah.
We got through like 2 pick sixes on the first 2 throws of the game.
Great.
It was a wrap. The Miami everyone said smash the Miami defense. You should always play them this week no matter what. So he didn't. Fair enough.
He didn't. Okay.
So he doesn't make it to the finals. Now go back to the box score again and let's go to the final week.
Not just that. Oh shit.
Okay, so now go back. So say he just does what he's supposed to do, which is play the defense he picked up on Sunday morning.
Okay.
And he makes it to the finals. So now we go into week 3.
I like so much.
This is the fantasy luck of
I know.
everything,
I
right?
just like that you're just like.
It's not like
you're acting. Oh, I made some money. Blah blah blah. In reality, you cried yourself to sleep with a lot of these woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah. Okay, let's get into there. Okay, week 3.
And let's go down to Kurt's team.
Kurt's team, the Poco.
Yeah, puts up an 81 points.
81.
Right? I only put up 100. Okay,
Yeah.
so there would have been moves to be made. Let's say he made some moves or changed his starting lineup.
Okay.
But he wouldn't have changed out Mahomes. He wouldn't have changed out Eckler. He wouldn't have changed out Diggs.
No.
He wouldn't have changed out Andrews. He wouldn't have changed out Gordon.
Well, he might have went back to his Seattle defense.
Maybe.
We'll say that.
He needs to find 20 points, though. He put up 80. I put up 100.
Well, I can find him. No, he's not going to find us.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So in this skewed world, I win. This is the luck from the other side. When you're homeless, you got to just fall on a diamond to get it.
Right. So let's go over the last week, though.
Sure.
So you lost by 15 points.
Yeah.
So you lost against Brad Friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cobra Kai.
Right.
Which is almost as embarrassing a name as Dreams and Nightmares, but we'll continue. So
that's okay. You don't need to understand the reason. Dreams and Nightmares is the Philadelphia Eagles warm-up song when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I don't know if you
So listen to it. It's called by Meek Mill. It's a hell of a song.
Yeah.
That's what they came out to when they beat the piss and retired Tom Brady from the New England Patriots and sent him off to Florida, where everybody goes to retire, which he now has to do twice.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. So we're looking at Team Cobra Kai.
Sure.
So he's got Joe Burrow in his quarterback position. Does he have a backup quarterback?
He had Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts
Against the Washington Redskins defense, who was the worst defense
in the league.
And instead, he put Joe Burrow up against Kansas City. In Kansas City, I think?
Yep.
So, right there, that's ballsy, because that's not a fantasy decision I would have made. Jalen Hurts was what, the QB 3 or 4 on the year?
Yeah.
And playing against Washington?
Yeah.
So swap those guys' points.
So it's 26 points.
Okay. There's a win.
That's a win. Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't. He made the right start. I thought it was ill-informed, but he made the right start.
But he did.
But
right.
he made the
exactly.
Right start.
You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, we're literally we're talking about the idea of sitting at a blackjack table, right? And just should I have hit? Should I have not hit? This and that. Well, the guy beside me says I should have hit. Well, you didn't. The guy beside me said I should have benched Joe Burrow. I should have started Jalen Hurts. Yeah, but
are you more comfortable staying on 20 or staying on 16?
I'm just saying.
That's the difference.
He made the conscious decision.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
Nobody will know.
Exactly. So now he's got Michael Carter, the powerhouse.
Yeah.
So in his first RB spot, he's got Michael Carter. The powerhouse that is Michael Carter. And we already touched on quarterback real quick, but so now he's got Joe Burrow at Kansas City, throws up 42.84 points.
Right.
You're starting your boy, your hero, your champion, your little weak-wristed, awkward-ankled Kyler Murray.
Yep.
And he puts up 26.92, which is a fantastic shot.
That's great. That's what you want out of a quarterback.
Right. So there's the 1-2, but you get blown out there. A cheeky 16 points, but that is what it is. People lose. Okay, so now you got Michael Carter, who it was, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm assuming Michael Carter's probably a top 25 running back last year. Top 28?
Maybe. Who
Top
knows?
30? Whatever. Again, going up against Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Right?
The number one running back on the...
number one,
right.
yeah, of course. Michael Carter gets 6 points. Jonathan Taylor gets 17.
Yep. Which is a slow day for Taylor, but
Yeah.
you want 100 yards and a touchdown. So you take
Now, Jarrett Patterson,
Yep.
because Antonio Gibson was hurt that week.
Yep.
Brad picks him up, throws him into his slot, 15.8, so we'll call it 16 points. And Joe Mixon, well, Joe Burrow was just throwing for yards
Yeah.
and touchdowns. Joe Mixon doesn't get much, but Joe Mixon would have been a top 6.
He was number 2. I
No,
think.
there we go.
2 or
Top
3.
5. There you go. Running back. So we've got Michael Carter and Jarrett Patterson against Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Right.
Who do you take?
Well, I don't need to answer that question because it's clear it's the guys who beat you. Now, then we've got T. Higgins,
Yeah.
who I believe Brad had on his team all year.
Yes.
Puts up a powerful 6.2 against Tyler Lockett, who you had all year, for a powerful 9.1.
A frustrating one from Lockett because Seattle put up 51 points and he put up 9. I think DK had like 3 touchdowns and Penny had 3 touchdowns or something like that. It was what that.
In another league, I know I benched Metcalf, and I know he went off for
And he
40.
went off. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so Tyler Lockett goes for 9.1, and then he's got Devontae Adams, who so far is the best player
On his team.
on his team.
Oh yeah.
He got him like 2 weeks prior to this, right?
I can't remember. I don't.
Yeah, I
know.
traded him to him, so I know that. 19.6 points against Debo, your hero, who
Number 2 wide receiver last year.
yeah, which and in my opinion, a dice roll that a coin flip that just paid off.
Pays off.
Got 14.2, and I bet you if we look into this a little bit deeper, I bet you it's more rushing
Oh yeah.
than it is
Yeah,
even
that was when
receiving.
everyone was hurt, so that's what
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
So then you got tight end for tight end, Dawson Knox, 0 points,
Put up a bagel for me.
versus Rob Gronkowski, 11.5.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so they're clearly. And now you've got Odell Beckham Jr., 9.9 against Nick Chubb, who I believe he was the Monday night game for you, wasn't he?
Monday Nighter.
He
Yep.
was your last
Yep.
gasp. And Nick Chubb puts up the
5.8.
lowest. And you got Nick Chubb from Mike.
I
So-
got Nick Chubb from Mike for Keenan Allen, James Robinson, and somebody else. I got Nick Chubb and DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, all I was going to say is that I got Nick Chubb from Mike the year before, and Nick Chubb helped me
Win.
with Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor. I had both those players.
Yeah, Chubb didn't help me this year.
Yeah. But he did me the year before.
Right, but he did not me.
But you got
Didn't help
dicked.
me.
You got dicked hard. But it wasn't even like you had much of a chance like it was. 5.8.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Bad.
Then you had Ronald Jones for
Yep.
2.7 points against MVS, the elusive Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Got 0.3. And then we've got defenses. Now, speaking of defenses,
Sure.
which you're a pretty good hoarder of defenses. At least you were until this week, which it looks like you dumped everybody else.
I picked up my 3 defenses for the 3 weeks of fantasy.
You
playoffs.
always do that. And I don't even agree with that plan.
When I knew I was going to make the playoffs at week 8,
You
I
just
just
won
started
every
to prepare.
single one. Yeah, of course, great. And your D was a good pickup, 16. Cowboys 3.0. So, but now on the other side, so on your bench you got Sony Michel,
Yep.
15.9 points.
So I played Ronald Jones against the Jets with no Leonard Fournette. Was my choice over Sony.
Yeah, okay.
The only reason I got Sony was because Brad Friend actually dropped him about 3 weeks before this happened for I think Ty Johnson, so he could back up Michael Carter.
Yeah,
so
and Ty Johnson put up more points than Ronald Jones did, and Nick Chubb,
but
Joe Mixon.
But he's not going to start 2 Jets running backs.
Of course he's not. But I'm just saying, like this is you don't listen, pal. Listen. We're going to talk about the value of diamonds. What I'm saying is that you don't let your foot off the gas pedal.
No.
Because it's the end. Because I'm looking at benches, and it's not even close. It's not even actually close. He's got 14 on his bench. He's got another 12 on his bench and another 10 on his bench. And other than your quarterback,
and my 16 from Sony, and an empty spot.
Yes, so you've got one. Yeah. Now, would I have subbed out Sony for Ronald Jones? Did Fournette literally miss that game?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Against the Jets?
Yeah,
okay. I wouldn't have done that either. No. So, yeah, you got handcuffed, but it's, so it's a loss. That's a tough one. That's just a tough loss.
12-1? It happens?
12-1-1.
Yeah. We'll see if I can put it across the
line. No, 12-1-1.
Oh, I had a tie. That was my piss off. I was 12-0-1. I had one tie going into playoffs. Almost a perfect record.
And I feel like Kurt beat you. He gave you your only one. And did he tie you too?
No, the one is from the finals.
Oh.
Isn't it? Or no?
No. You tied last year. God, we really should have prepared a little bit more.
That's okay.
Okay. So either way, so how do you feel about it? Not great, eh?
I move on to this year, and I'll go make the playoffs again and try to make the finals again.
So are you going
to... We all know that in this league, there's a weird thing where the 8th seed seems to always win it. Between you winning it, creeping in, between Dan Garrett, between Brad Friend, between...
Yeah, I think I've won at least twice from the 8th seed. Yeah, no question.
So you don't need to win the league. Yeah. Typically, the guy who puts up the most points for gets knocked out in the playoffs. That's like a bad omen for whatever reason. So just get a ticket to the dance. Do whatever you can to get to the dance.
Now, can I drop a little something on you here?
Sure.
Because as somebody who's won the championship 4 times, I understand
Was it 4 or 3?
It's 4.
How many of those were before anyone knew how to play?
I don't know. I didn't know how to play for the first year, and I won the second year.
You told me that you were the only guy who listened to podcasts till I joined. I did research.
Yeah. So it would have been...
You weren't drafting kickers in the...
No, yeah, exactly. So it would have been the second year, maybe third year. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But we're all on the same playing field now, right?
Definitely more competitive league. It's more competitive.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm saying...
I feel almost everybody cares.
And
I think everybody...
They pay attention as much as we can ask. No, not everybody... let's be honest. Today I haven't listened to anything, but in the last week I've listened to at least probably, and I'm undershooting, probably at least 10 hours of fantasy football podcast. Right. This week already. Yeah. I've mock drafted 10 times already.
Right.
So let me tell you, son, just as with the 4 championships and looking at these teams side by side, Brad Friend has a team that would be a team that I would win with, because looking at these teams side by side, there's only maybe 2 players that I'd swap from his team to your team, versus what players would I prefer to have?
Right.
There's no question I want Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon over Michael Carter and Jared Patterson.
Yeah.
There's no question I want Nick Chubb, and if you're saying that Fournette's out, Ronald Jones is in, there's no question, versus MVS and Odell Beckham.
Yep.
Your tight end game has always been dog shit.
Of course.
It always has been.
Yeah.
Which is, if you look at my 4 championships, it's always been a top 5 tight end. Just giving you a little piece there. But this means that Brad Friend was still moving, shaking, picking up. He's got the balls to start Jarrett Patterson against Jonathan Taylor. He's got the balls to do that. And Taylor only puts up 1 point more than him. Yep. He's got the balls to put up Michael Carter versus Joe Mixon. Yeah. And Joe Mixon only beats him by 1 point. He's got the balls.
That was another wild one, right? Because Cincinnati put up 34.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. There is, on paper, he was projected to do 101 points. You were projected to do 123.9. I think that's ESPN going soft on the projections.
Yeah.
I think you were literally going to smash him. But you lost.
Yep. That's fantasy football.
And that, of course.
That's why we play the game.
Any given Sunday. But
anybody can win on paper.
Of course. But as long as, and both of us, we've been the biggest proponents of, for sure, make moves. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That should be the title of this fucking podcast. Make moves, correct?
Sure.
And Brad Friend was making moves. And taking risks. He sat Saquon Barkley. He sat Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that he had absolutely nothing on the bench. Like, he picked some ballsy moves here.
Yeah,
like, he sat Saquon Barkley for MVS.
And how did it pay off for him?
Not even close. He could have whooped your ass more. But, so I'm just saying, so there are still those dice rolls, but you don't sleep. You don't rest on your laurels. You don't rest on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So, either way, so you lost. And that sucks because I think that everybody expected you to win last year and it was your year. And not everybody loves you like I do. You know, and even though it's difficult to love you the way that I do.
It is.
But everybody was like, okay, this is Sayers, this fucking absolute fascist dictator of our league. I used to plan parties, so I know where my Google shared apps are, so that everybody can come in and see whatever the hell we're talking about. And we were there. We were there to celebrate for you. And I don't even think I could talk to you around this time last year because I'm sure you fucked me over somehow. But I will tell you, it was depressing for the rest of us. It was watching Dan Marino in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It was if Alex Ovechkin never won a championship. You know what I mean?
It was like as if one of those guys from Tent City was walking around with our belt. You'd go, well, the belt's not really worth that much.
It's not.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I get it. And that's why we move on and we live to play another day.
Yeah.
And I'll be there again in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you there. I'm hoping to draft poorly this year and finish low in the standings, and maybe I'll have a chance to take home that shitty blood diamond that is the trophy.
Now listen, I don't intend... Excuse me, by the way. I do not intend to draft poorly, okay? I don't intend to draft poorly. I just end up drafting poorly. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I've done a couple mock drafts, and I think that that's going to lead us right to our next point. Do you want to say anything else about the crushing, devastating, sad loss?
No, the only thing that I will...
Do you want to apologize to anybody for any reason?
I want to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Okay.
The only thing that I will say, and I'll be putting this out to everybody, is we're going to have a little bit of a change in tradition, because I do still think that we can restore the value of the belt. I think there is still life left in it. I think that it can still hold some weight, even though it doesn't right now, because it's somewhere lost on Hastings Street.
Wait.
What we're going to do...
Hold on.
Moving forward is
The belt is fucking 30 feet from us. Right. It's over by the front door.
Yeah. So we'll exchange...
Okay.
Moving forward, we're going to exchange the belt at the draft as a presentation. We'll exchange the trophy at the draft as a presentation.
Okay.
Now there's two trophies. There's first place and there's last place.
Right.
So Mr. Nightingale, who won last place last year, will present that to Mr. Hinton this year.
Okay.
After having his name stitched on it. And so on and so forth.
And is that the Murrah?
That's the Murrah.
You realize that I never even play around with the last place, so I don't even know what happens on that side.
No, exactly.
These fake cocktails that Corey never pours, or these things that these apologies Hinton has to make.
That's why I got this jersey.
That's
why I got this jersey, because now at least we have a symbol and some sort of trophy. But draft day is when we definitely always get together. So let's just go draft day to draft day. That's when you hold the belt. That's when you hold the championship. And so this year you will present it to Brad on draft day.
No problem.
He will hold it till next draft.
No problem. And Brad has And you know me, one of my biggest beefs that I've ever had is that I won one year. We went to draft day. This is at Nightingale's place years ago. And I brought the trophy and the belt and I put it down. I said, hey guys, Amit and Brad, congratulations.
Yep.
And both those fucking homos didn't leave with it. Neither of them did. So then I was like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? So I put it in a closet, and luckily, the next year I just won.
Right.
So it didn't make that big a difference. I just took it. But 2 years ago, when I won, Brad had actually had them on his person, and I went right to his fucking house and went, give me those right now. I made the effort to do it, right? And just like over the last year, I made the effort. Just like over the last year, I made the effort to put names on the trophy.
Yeah.
I polished up the belt. I got it all ready for the next person, which is like what you're supposed to do, in my opinion. Brad Friend has messaged me 3 times. He's a big caller. He's like Sully.
Likes to call.
He's all about calling.
Calls me all the time.
He's all about calling. But so I'll text him. I go, I miss your call. What's up? And he's like, oh, you got the belt on. I said, but he's been coy about it 3 times. He said, you've got something that belongs to me. So I've said, yeah, they're at home.
Yeah.
You know exactly where I live because you've been here, bitch. Whenever you want to pick them up. And all 3 times he said, great, I'll text you in 2 hours.
And never.
Never. So now I've got them literally, they are sitting by the front door because I can't have them tucked in my fucking closet to watch Brad Friend disrespect them for another year. And I'm praying that Brad just walks in like a fucking Amazon driver and just takes them from me. So
that's not going to happen because you'll exchange them at the draft.
Which is fine.
Saturday.
If that will be the new
Yep.
change, that's fine. Because before the other times we had done it when Mike could
Like
actually
Super Bowl
host.
or something.
Yeah, when Mike could actually host us all.
But not everybody's there. Everybody
Of
at
course.
least makes an effort to draft day, so we can do a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of a presentation and
which is great.
so on and so forth.
And I'll make a presentation.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Brad.
Yeah.
I will say, hey, I told you to pick up Jarrett Patterson.
Oh, you can belittle him all you want.
Well, I told him to, and that's how he won.
Well, that leads us to this year.
Okay.
So we just picked our draft spots, and it was an interesting go, pal.
Sayers just got out of the metaverse, guys. So if he's sounding a little slow, the only reason is because he was in the metaverse for the last 3 hours.
Chasing dinosaurs.
He was chasing
Fighting
dinosaurs and
zombies.
fighting Darth Vader. And he stabbed a zombie in the head. So it's been a little confusing for him. So anyway, so let's go to this year. So anything else you want to touch on other than you're hoping to draft poorly, stumble your way in, and then... But you're not as active. I would just say you're not that active. You're not a risk taker like the rest of us.
Well, you can go in and check the moves made over the course of the year because I think I was number 2. You'll
Behind.
Yeah. And we're not getting
Behind.
Yeah.
And
60 points in round
where
1.
has it gone? Okay, anyway, so this year.
Yeah, it was an interesting start. Usually
So it sucks. I will say, okay.
It is what it is.
All jokes aside, last year it was pretty much like signed, sealed, delivered that you were going to win. Everybody hates you while you're winning like that, and just being the guy you are.
Yeah.
Being the friend.
Oh, I know a lot of people took joy in my defeat, but
No, I think people took joy in the idea of you losing. I don't think anybody took joy in your defeat.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, everybody knew that the best team didn't win.
Everybody likes to watch Mike Tyson
Right.
get knocked out by fucking Leon Spinks. Oh, sorry. Spinks. He
Right.
knocked out Buster Douglas. So everybody likes to see that. Holy shit. But they didn't actually really want to see
Or
fucking
believe
Buster Douglas win.
No.
Right? So it's like holy fuck, thank God I'm not Mike Tyson today because he just got knocked out.
Right.
So, but at that point, I think everybody had conceded that you had put together a real season, a real motherfucker of a season. Because you were blowing out guys 15, 20 points a fucking week.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough. And even people were talking to me like, how are you going to beat Sayers? And I'm like, I don't know how to beat this guy. Well, I'm going to beat this guy who's putting up 30 points more than me a week.
Right.
That's a lot to deal with. And, Brad Friend, who plays similarly to me, made some moves, and, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. So, congratulations. That's 2 years in a row that you made it to the dance.
3 out of the last 4.
That's fucking...
That's the heartbreaker.
Yeah, that is a absolute fucking heartbreaker.
And if this year becomes 4 to 5 and I win it, then they're all worth it, pal.
I agree. That's why you can all no matter what it is, when you have championship rings, it's just like keep talking. But as long as I got them, you can't take them away.
I mean, I definitely would always rather make the playoffs like I've done every year instead of maybe in and maybe miss and maybe in and maybe miss. But you roll the dice with some of these guys that aren't as good.
Well,
and don't listen.
Is that a shot? Is that a shot at me?
No, you usually.
Is that a shot at me?
No, you
because
usually make
I
it.
got 4 championships and 7 finals.
You usually make it into the playoffs for sure. Sometimes you peter out, and you're a boom bust kind of guy.
I am. I swing for the fences. I don't fuck around.
I wouldn't have been shocked if you knocked me out in the first round last year.
Why?
And I also wouldn't have been shocked if I beat you by 50.
Yeah.
Which is what happened.
Exactly.
Right? So
yeah.
It could have gone either way.
It is. I attack the pin.
Sure.
It's like when I play, not when I play golf. When I play disc golf, I attack that pin.
You got to.
It's too far away. I shouldn't do it like this. No. Just lay up. No. You got to attack that pin. That's how I play fantasy football.
Chicks
I
don't
attack
like
pins.
guys that hit putts. Chicks like guys that smash the ball.
Exactly. Okay, so now this year.
Paul was first up to pick his spot. He went right in the middle, number 6.
Number 6.
What's Paul thinking?
So Paul could
have gone anywhere on the board.
He could have taken. Okay, great.
He was the first guy to pick his slot, so he's going 6.
Okay, I will say now I'm at about 15 mocks in.
Yep.
Myself.
Where do you like?
I was just gonna say, I usually always mock from like 8 to 12 and back. I never go early because I've never had it. Like I've never had the Christian McCaffrey. Right. I've never had the Dalvin Cook. I trade for those guys. Right. I have never actually drafted them. I'm always I will get the Joe Mixons, the Antonio Gibsons, and then play around to get Dalvin Cook. Right. Or Adrian Peterson came to my team and helped me win one year, but I had to trade 3 other running backs from him. I never am early. So I will say I usually like to sit a bit later because I like some of the decisions to be made for me.
And you get a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, exactly. And I go, I see where the run is. I'm going to take this guy, and hopefully I can take this guy in this way. So Paul, just like me, he was given the option for the first pick. He didn't take it. When I was given the option, I took the second pick. So I don't know where Paul's thinking.
Well, the first round's a bit of a cluster this year. It's
exactly
who do you trust? Can you trust McCaffrey? Who wants to bite on McCaffrey? Who wants to bite on Derrick Henry? Who wants to bite on Najee? Who wants to bite on Dalvin Cook? Who wants to bite on Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb? Like, there's so many questions.
Never. None of them. You don't want to bite. They all seem a little bit sketchy, in my opinion.
Every year, a couple of guys in the first round flame out. We know that's going to happen. There's a lot of guys in the first round this year that are coming off of injury or have injury risk associated or getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
So that's why this year I like being late. Because again, if Derrick Henry falls to me, then I'm forced to take
Of course.
Not at pick 4.
Right. Like
I should, but do I? I don't know.
I believe last year in the draft, I think I was drafting right beside Patterson. And he got Saquon or Ezekiel Elliott right before me. I think it might have been Saquon. And I went, oh my God. Like I wasn't paying attention. And I went, oh fucking thank God. Because I'd have to take him at that point.
Yeah.
I absolutely would. But looking at every mock draft I've done so far this year, it's always mid to late that I prefer to be. There's no question, actually.
That was me too.
Because your second pick is close enough to your first pick that it is blowing out the first pick.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. I've always been in I wanted to be 8, 9, 10. This year I'm picking 11, which is okay. Mm-hmm. I like to be a little bit higher, but that it'll fall to me and I'll figure out what I do.
So let's just go with right now, just so that for the people who can't see what we're seeing, and it's not exactly what's right in front of us, but it's also what's right in front of me, is I've got just a mock draft of what with our league settings, what would be 1 through 12. So Paul takes the sixth spot, and we've got all the drafts in front of us. So I'm looking at Corey's, because Corey's down at 11, right? Mm-hmm. Correct? And Paul's at 6. So Paul decides that he wants 6. So now, hypothetically, in this draft, Paul has Najee Harris, which is fine at the 6th spot,
Sure.
in my opinion.
Of course.
And then on the way back, he's got Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Those 2 running backs, Najee, you never know. You don't know what Pittsburgh's offense has this year. And
Well, I mean, with Najee, his quarterback play isn't going to get worse than Noodle Arm Big Ben.
yeah, you're right. And that is the reality of the situation.
He should still be. I think he was he was a top 5 last year. Did he
Yeah.
finish 4 or 5? He should be. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be in the top 10. Could be in the top 5.
Right. And then on the way back, though, just a classic. Now we've got Barkley. So Saquon Barkley. They've got a new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator. But Barkley, I feel like he's had promise for the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Since he got hurt. So that's what Paul, who decided team 6, on the 6th spot, he's got Najee and Barkley.
Well, what I'm saying to you, who is he hoping for? Why does he? First thing he says is he wants 6. So he doesn't want Jonathan Taylor. He doesn't want
Any of these guys. He doesn't want Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Austin Eckler, and even in this, Najee Harris wouldn't be that high. So it'd be Jefferson and Dalvin Cook would be down here.
And we got to wait and see if Kamara's going to be suspended.
Yes, of course. But either way, so he's taken 6, so he can...
That's what I'm saying. Who do you think he wants at 6?
Oh, if I'm thinking about
Yeah.
Dean Paul?
Yeah. Is that the Cooper Kupp spot in our draft?
No, he's looking for Najee Harris, who I traded him after
You think
week
so?
1 last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's worked out kind of conveniently.
Okay.
So who got to pick next?
So Sully was next, goes right in front of Paul at 5.
Okay.
And that's, again, is that the Derrick Henry spot? Is that the Eckler spot? Is that a Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson spot?
Yeah.
What does Sully want?
I wonder when guys, because whenever I take 10, 11, or 12,
Yeah.
because I always have to usually pick late, is I just like the second pick. It's not the first, because I just
It's always the second.
Because I always assume my first, whoever in the top 12 is going to be a stud that I really want.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about whoever that is. Whoever falls to me, best player available, whatever. I prefer running back, obviously, but this year I'm definitely thinking Travis Kelce in the first round, but that's fine. But I'm a big tight end guy.
I think this year there's more pass catchers in the first round than in the past. I think Kupp and Jefferson. I think Jamar Chase can go.
Yeah.
I think Kelce can go.
Yeah. Devontae Adams.
Tyreek
Tyreek
Stephon
Hill.
Diggs.
Yeah.
There's lots of options.
So who does?
Which is why I like to be at the back. Because
So
then you can stay fluid. If somebody falls and you want to go
Yeah,
wide receiver,
exactly.
go wide receiver.
Sure.
If you want to go Kelce, he's going to be the number 1 pass catcher on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And you've always wanted that guy.
Yeah, because if Justin Jefferson falls to you at the 11th spot,
You can't say no.
how do you say no?
You
And
can't.
then you get Nick Chubb or Joe Mixon on the way back. You're
Exactly.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
So who does Sully want? I don't know, but this mock says that Sully started with Austin Eckler and then followed back on the way around Alvin Kamara. Which for me, first 2, I'm not mad at that.
No, I
at
don't
all.
think that's going to happen because we don't think Kamara's going to get suspended, so he'll probably creep into the first.
100%. I agree with that statement, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For
this one that
for
you're
the
looking
sake
at?
of this argument,
Yeah.
I like that Paul's got Najee Harris and Saquon Barkley. Mm-hmm.
And Sully's got
Sully's
Eckler.
got Eckler and Kamara.
Sure.
Okay, and who is next after that?
So then Perry's up and he goes number 1. I think it's just down to 2.
He's taking Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I know he is. I'm sorry to blow up his spot, but I texted him right after we did this whole exercise, and I just said, hey, because me and Perry, we like to play fantasy football together.
Right.
We like to trade, like to bullshit, like to kind of look at
Work the back channel.
Yeah, we look at what everybody else is doing. We talk shit.
Right.
We'll talk about a trade for 4 fucking weeks.
Right.
He'll be trying to get one over on me. I'll be trying to get one over on him. It is what it is. But this year, I go, okay, so it's finally me and you side by side. Said, so you taking Jonathan Taylor, I assume, or Christian McCaffrey? It's one of the two.
Yeah.
And now, spoiler alert, he said Jonathan Taylor, but he should say fucking Jonathan Taylor.
Of course.
Right? So now...
But he's not wrong to take McCaffrey. He's not wrong to take Cooper Kupp.
I'm not... I don't...
Right.
Anybody...
There are options.
Anybody that you would take in the top 6 picks this year,
Could
I
go
think
number
is
one.
a fucking stud and can go number
Sure.
one. Whether that's Cup or Jefferson or Jonathan Taylor or McCaffrey or Henry or Eckler, like any of those guys who were slated for top 6, top 8 picks, you could get them in the first. You're reaching a little bit, but it only hurts you on your second round.
Yeah.
And that's why I think later on in the draft is better. I mean, that's considering I always mock at the end, I always draft at the end. But I always think my drafts are good, and my drafts are shit. So maybe a hero RB is proper. Okay, so after Perry, so in this one, he ends up, it looks great. It looks beautiful.
So Hinton
We're looking at it.
Hinton just slides into that spot of picking up the best guy that's left.
Yeah.
Is Cup there? Is it Jefferson? Is it Derrick Henry? Is it Eckler? Whatever he wants. He'll have flexibility at that spot. So he's fine.
And in this shit, what word am I looking for?
Mock draft?
Mock, yes. He ends up with Cooper Kupp and Mark Andrews.
Well done.
That's
a Hinton draft.
It is a bit of a Hinton draft, but let's talk about that for a second, because take Cooper Kupp, because I think the consensus is Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Those I don't like Jamar Chase that high, if I'm being honest. But we'll call it Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson if you're going to take a receiver that early in these drafts. But you definitely don't follow up the receiver with a tight end.
Right.
So Hinton,
Unless it's Kelsey.
unless it's oh fuck yes, if he could get Kupp then Kelsey, absolutely. If he was in the 12th and he could get Kupp and Kelsey here,
Sure.
you take it, no question. But Hinton, even your goddamn mock has let you down here.
Yeah.
Because you don't take Cooper Kupp and then take Mark Andrews, okay?
You were next and you shot straight to number 2.
Number 2, because it was
Something different.
Because it was exactly... That looks like a fucking dinosaur drooling on a kiwi plant. Now, So I went 2. And the reason I went 2 is because I'm always at the end. And I was just out with my friends. Kurt was actually... I was out with Kurt and a couple other guys. And I said, look... I think I want Travis Kelce. That's who I really think is a game changer this year.
Sure.
And I said, I think I can get him because I will be drafting around 9th, 10th, 11th. That's usually where I end up. And I said, and I think I just want him. I'm just going to take him, and that it just is what it is. And then you sent me a message going, hey, man, you're up for the draft, da-da-da-da. And I went, okay, the 2 spot was wide open. Nobody else had taken it. And I went, do I want Derrick Henry? Do I want Christian McCaffrey? Do I want Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Cooper Kupp? Do I want any of the Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, any of these guys over Travis Kelce? And that's what I said to myself. And I went, yes, I want all of them over Travis Kelce. Yeah. So I went, okay, fuck it. No, you know what? I'll go early. I'll go hero RB. I'll actually go get my Derrick Henry, my Jonathan Taylor, my Christian McCaffrey, without having to trade 3 guys to get them on my fucking team.
Right. And then you can trade and fill in the rest of
Exactly. So, and then in this mock, I've got Derrick Henry at the 2 spot, and I love me some Derrick Henry. Who doesn't?
Who you're not taking at 2, but that's okay.
Sure. And but I'd happily, if I'm getting auto drafted, mock drafted, if Derrick Henry is my number 2,
right?
Full disclosure, you want it honestly. I'm thinking. I don't know how I say no to Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
At this point,
it's the last 2 years of
it's injury. It's obviously injury. But so I'm basically letting Perry make that decision for me. If Perry takes McCaffrey, I'm going to take Taylor.
Of course.
If Perry takes Taylor,
you've got
then it's just McCaffrey and Henry for me. There is no. I'm not sneaking anybody else in there.
Right.
There's nobody else and I've mocked this enough times that I'm going, I don't know which one I'm happier, but I just feel like I've had McCaffrey on my team a bunch of times, and it's every time that guy goes out to play, it's not that he's been hurt. It's you're scared to fucking death he's gonna get hurt.
Well, he's not the biggest guy.
He's a little guy. They throw him out everywhere, and he gets hammered.
Yeah.
Versus Derrick Henry, who is a truck.
Yes.
He's a fucking truck. So it's like, okay, yes, he got a foot injury last year, whatnot. So there's warts on everybody. But that I know who I'm taking in my pick, and in this one it is Derrick Henry, and I come around with Leonard Fournette on the second part, which I'm fine with. You know me, it's running back. So I'm fine with that.
Patterson goes number 3.
Yep.
So Phil's in the top 6 for us.
And Brad, I bet you, and for Brad and Patterson, I know you're listening to this, and you've done a lot of research into the points that we've gotten, who's gotten the most points or the least points and everything. But I will say, I don't know if you've picked after round 5. After the 5th pick. I think Brad is always in the top 6.
Yeah.
He always has Dalvin Cook. He always has, he would have had Adrian Petersons. He would have had Jamal Charles. He would have always had those top kind of guys.
Well, this year he's going to get McCaffrey or Henry or Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have his choice of 2 out of those 3 guys.
So in this one, it's mocked him at Christian McCaffrey, number 3, which again would par for the course for Brad.
Sure.
Which he will take. He will take one of these
yeah.
backs. And then on the other way around, Deebo Samuel.
Right.
Which is, again, 2 players.
Deebo was the number 2 last year. There's 4 wide receivers in front of him in that draft, so it could be good value. But you don't know.
Okay. And who was after that?
Amit went 7, so right after Paul.
Okay. And this is, okay, I don't even want to get into Amit's thinking. I'm looking at this mock, and I'm telling you, this is exactly what Amit would do. He's got Jamar Chase at 7 spot and Aaron Jones.
That sounds like an Amit draft.
That is Amit as Amit can get.
And he's fine with it.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
What was Amit hoping to get? Probably exactly those 2 players.
Yes.
He does like Justin Jefferson too.
If you could just print this off and hand it to him, he would just walk away.
Yeah, because then he went quarterback in the 3rd in this mock. Anyways, okay, so Amit.
He always plays well. He's always in the mix. He usually makes the playoffs, and he's off on some yacht in the Maldives.
No. He's on a helicopter. He's always helicoptering.
He does that too.
He's down in Texas just shooting boars with AR-15s or whatever. And they're like, hey, you're a brown guy. We shouldn't give you these high-powered weapons.
Right.
And he's like, look at all this money I have. And it's just dripping out of his shoes. Anyways, yeah, so he's got Jamar Chase and Aaron Jones. Nice start of me. I'll see you out there. Okay? Who's after that handsome
So the top
spot?
7 are done, and then Nightingale comes in at 10. So he drops a couple spots down in the lineup. He could have picked anywhere from 8 to 12. So he goes right in the middle of that mix at 10.
Right. So he's thinking about it from my perspective.
Yeah.
Just push yourself back.
Yeah.
Now, Nightingale, you talked to Nightingale.
I've messaged him.
He messaged you and told you that was it. You got communication.
That he is coming to the draft.
It's the greatest thing I could ever hear. That's all I care about.
That's all
I care about, because I need that guy to tell me, every single person he picks, that it was a great pick on his hand, and then I also want him to say, that guy's about getting points. Like, I just want the random bullshit that whatever Nightingale is going to fire out, that's one of the highlights of my draft, is whatever that guy talks about. So, he in this one, sorry, what was it, 10?
10.
So in this mock, he's got Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce. Not how I would do it.
No.
I got to tell you, I got to be honest, I'm going,
if I'm taking Kelce, I need a running back in one of those spots.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for sure. Or if
I'm way happier to have my team as Nick Chubb and Travis Kelce than Devontae Adams.
I agree with that statement. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I'd take Aaron Jones and Kelce over Adams and Kelce.
I agree.
I'd take Alvin Kamara and Kelce over.
100%. Because
he's a Saints guy, so maybe he dropped down thinking he'll get a value on Kamara, and he might. We'll see how far he falls.
I'm just happy to hear that Nightingale's getting involved.
Of course.
I love him.
Mikey goes up to 8 right after a meet.
Yep.
Just took the next highest slot available.
Of course he did. That unoriginal, unimaginative piece of garbage.
Who had a terrible draft last year, but fought his way to the semifinals, which was
Has
good.
that guy
He's
even been in a draft in 3 years?
He's coming this year, pal. He's leaving his family. He's told me the whole thing. He's committed.
In what way? Because we've heard this before. He's said this before.
He says he's coming.
Does he even
offered
know
up-
when the fucking draft is?
He's even offered up his home, but I think that's just because he wants to show off his beautiful fence.
Oh, that's the best thing that guy's ever seen.
Yeah. So he goes at 8.
Which in this mock, Mikey, it just auto-mocked you. Relax. Stop yelling at us. I'm just telling you what the computer has picked for you. Okay? Relax. Is Justin Jefferson on the first, Tyreek Hill on the way back.
And I'm not mad at it.
But then you got a punt on receiver.
Then you go hard RB for
100%. But this,
3 or 4 next.
but this mock, Mikey, doesn't have you having a receiver until the fucking 6th round when you pick up Chase Edmonds.
Exactly.
You're disgusting.
And then we get Kurt up, who goes 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could be playing the Kamara game there too. Or
Kurt loves Kamara. Kurt loves Eckler.
Yeah.
Kurt loves any of those big.
Dalvin Cook.
He would like a top 6 pick. Like that's what Kurt's into.
Sure.
No question.
Sure.
And Kurt's a pretty good drafter. I make fun of Kurt, but he is a draft and hold kind of guy.
Right.
And which, very much like you, it bothers me, that kind of style, but I understand it. But I just can never draft and hold because I just got to keep moving.
Right.
So Kurt gets Dalvin Cook in the first, which is 9th overall. I'm not even mad at that at all.
I don't.
You don't love him. What do you think's going to happen? I know Dalvin Cook makes me nervous.
He's your Saquon Barkley of last year. Like if I'm
Yes.
at 11 and he's there, I don't want to be forced to take him.
Cook.
You know what I mean?
That's a perfect example. Yes. Except Cook has just been more dominant than, in my opinion, than Barkley ever is, but it's the exact same
Scenario.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's not
How
there
do you say no to Dalvin Cook
I'm
at 11th
hoping he's
overall?
not there at 11.
Yeah, because you have to take him. You have to. You have to just get in and just get involved.
Right.
And then, but on the way back, CeeDee Lamb. Now, for the shits and giggles of this mock draft, I would way rather Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones than I would Dalvin Cook and CeeDee Lamb.
Yep. But these ones usually try to even things out a little bit, so they're a little bit different.
But even right after him, I'd rather Dalvin Cook and Tyreek Hill than CeeDee Lamb.
So there's only 2 spots left, 11 and 12, and I'm up next, so I took 11, and that leaves Brad Friend with 12.
Yes.
On the horn.
So, and for this mock here, and what were you hoping? Oh, you didn't care. But you were happy. You like to draft in the last 3, 4.
I like to kind of be 8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
so 11's fine with me.
Yep.
Knowing that I was drafting near Brad Friend at 12, I was happy to give him the horn because he's pretty predictable. He's that guy who goes off the top 300 sheet. So I can let guys go that I know are going to get back to me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yes.
So I can jump him on somebody and then let my other guy go because I know he's coming back.
And in this mock, you start with Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb.
Right.
And I'm not mad at that at all.
No. And yeah.
Like, I might go, like...
On this draft list, who from the second round jumps into the first round? I think Kelsey could.
Yeah.
I think Chubb.
Yeah.
I think Kamara, depending. And then I think Aaron Jones could sneak into either the back.
But who are you getting picked in the top 12?
Who's coming out of the first round in this draft board?
Yeah.
I think Devonta Adams could. I think DeAndre Swift. And like I said, I don't want Dalvin Cook at 11, but I don't think Brad Friend lets him get past the 12, 13 turn.
Right. So Brad Friend is going to take whoever best in his first 2 picks. He's going to go best available.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate. So if we're moving to this one, Brad Friend, he is DeAndre Swift, and then he is Stephon Diggs.
I can see him going like a Jamar Chase, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like how our draft will shake out. I don't think Jamar Chase is going at 7, but who knows?
Yeah, I think Nightingale is liable to fucking take Josh Allen in the first round.
You never know.
Right? Like that's how our drafts work out.
Someone will.
It's fucking. I know that Kurt will take 2 quarterbacks in the first 7 rounds.
Yep.
So looking at this, Perry starts with Jonathan Taylor, AJ Brown. I start with Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette. Who was third? I need a little help here.
Brad Patterson.
Patterson starts with McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel,
Hinton.
Hinton starts with Cooper Kupp, Mark Andrews.
Sully.
Sully starts with Austin Eckler, Alvin Kamara.
Paul.
Goes Najee Harris, Saquon Barkley,
Amit.
Jamar Chase, Aaron Jones,
Fana.
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill,
Kurt.
Dalvin Cook, CeeDee Lamb,
Nightingale.
Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce,
Me.
Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb,
Brad Friend.
DeAndre Swift, and Stephon Diggs. Who do you like the most there?
I like myself and Sully.
Is Sully 5?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at 5 and I'm going, yeah.
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 Eckler, Kamara,
Yeah,
Mixon,
me too.
Chubb.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I think the way this draft fell for you,
Got him blocked in. When are you taking him?
Who's your exciting rookie this year, pal? Who is it? Who do you like?
Okay. Like that I'll draft?
Yeah.
Or that I'm looking at? Okay. For my exciting rookie, I like I like that stupid guy who catches balls from that fucking idiot. The other one who actually is
Dubs.
playing. Dubs, and I like, full disclosure, you know who I really like?
Who's that?
Damian Pierce.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm hoping he is my...
I tell you this, I bet you who doesn't know... I know somebody who doesn't know who Damian Pierce is. Mind you, I bet you most of the league doesn't. But for sure, Fanoff doesn't know who he is. And Fanoff should know who he is.
And I think that's enough for him. And who's your rookie? Who
I don't
do you
know.
got?
It's tough. It's
You
tough
know,
because
you're
the
a
best...
sick fuck.
The best
What you
receiver...
put on the TV.
The
of
best
what we're
receiver
talking
in this
about.
year's draft tore his ACL in the championship game last year, so he's kind of out of it. That's Jameson Williams. He got drafted by Detroit this year. He would have been a top 4 guy, top 5 guy.
I've mock drafted that guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But he
I
won't
thought
play
I was getting Jamal Williams that late.
Yeah, he for sure won't play for
Okay.
4 or 6
Okay,
years.
great. I don't care. We're talking about rookie wide receivers. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but it's
yeah.
tough. Like, do you want Drake London on the Falcons? I don't know. Someone's got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Although he did kind of get hurt, but who knows?
What do you
We'll
think
see.
about
Treylon Burks? Is he going to be the guy in Tennessee now that nobody else is there, or is that Bobby Lumber's team
That's
to run?
Bobby Trees, baby. You know it is. And
And you like Christian Watson or Omar Dubs or who?
Dubs. I like Dubs.
You're big on Dubs.
And I do like London. Sorry, I should say that.
London's a big boy.
And yeah, and what about where your head rests? What do you think about
With
your
a
boy?
rookie?
Yeah, no. What about your boy? Not Watson. What is the? Who is the? Kenneth?
Gainwell?
No, not Gainwell.
Ken Walker.
Walker.
He just got hurt. He didn't practice today.
Oh. Well,
so-
we're a month out, pal.
Pal, you got to be on top of the news. Know that he takes Penny's job from him.
Okay, and that's hoping that Penny stays alive for a day
Carson
and a half.
died. Carson's out.
Yeah.
He retired.
Travis Homer is terrible.
Yeah.
This is like there's people who are asking me about the Patriots. They're like, "Don't you know that you have Ty Montgomery?" I'm like,
Exactly.
"Yeah, great, good story."
So I don't know. There isn't a Jamar Chase this year.
So
There's
who's your
a
biggest?
Devontae Smith.
So who's your biggest bust? Who's the guy that you're looking at going out early? Getting drafted early that you think? Because I can
Injury
already.
aside?
Just
If everyone stays healthy, all things being equal.
yeah. Because I got 2 guys that I'm looking at and I'm thinking about right now. I can
In the
see
first
them.
2 rounds.
Sure. No. Well,
First round.
No. I just meant in general.
Oh, just based on their value.
Yeah. Like, who are 2 guys that you're not touching? Based on their value. Sorry. I will draft anybody in round 12.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah.
If I know his name, I'll draft him before round 12.
Sure.
Round 12 and later.
I don't know that I'm drafting Devontae Adams.
Okay, yeah.
I'm concerned for Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
Guys that have moved teams.
Sure, great.
I don't know if I'm touching Zeke.
Okay, yeah.
Or Cam Akers, I would say.
Yeah, I don't have anything major against any of those things.
Who are yours?
Mine are number 1 with a fucking bullet before the 6th or 7th round. He's got to be my 4th running back, Cam Akers.
So, Cam
There's
Akers.
not a fucking chance I'm touching that guy.
Yeah.
So, Barry or Brad, if you're listening, unless it's the 6th round and he's still available, I'm not fucking picking him up. Cam Akers, I don't know what to do with the Seattle wide receivers. Metcalf, I watched one game when Geno Smith took over for Russell Wilson. Metcalf had a day, but I can't touch Cam Akers. I can't touch DK Metcalf. And my boy, and this is why I kind of brought this up. It makes me sad. But Antonio Gibson is too early. There is no world that like...
He's your Cam Akers. If he's your 4th?
Yeah, fine. But he's not my... Like I need to have 4 other running backs. Like there is a wide receiver.
It's Brian Robinson's job now, pal. It's all over for
It's
Gibson.
Nobody's job because the fucking Commanders are awful. That's the reality of this.
Carson Wentz and the boys?
Where are you taking McLaurin, who went in?
I'm not.
So there you go. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not.
So again, there are these guys who. Okay, and then what about the big high name guys? What are you doing with a guy like Darnell Mooney? You looking at him?
Yeah, round 5 or 6.
Okay. You thinking about Amari Cooper in Cleveland?
No,
Not at all. Can't do it. What are you doing with Cordero Patterson? Where are you touching him?
probably not.
Okay. What do you think
Tyler
about...
Algiers. I'd rather have him. Rookie running back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. That's a weird... Why? Just
I'd
because
rather
give it to
have
the
a guy
young
that
guy?
can-
Yeah,
Hey,
okay.
if he's bad on week 1, I immediately have a guy to drop.
Sure, fair. Okay,
If he's Elijah Mitchell, I'm happy.
Okay, what do you think about your boy, your hero, your champion from the Philadelphia Eagles, Miles Sanders? What do you think about him?
I don't know.
Okay. Clyde, your other boy?
Don't know about him either.
Yeah.
Because they got Rojo too there now, right?
Yeah, he's out. He's not making the team.
Then they're going Isaiah Pacheco,
Yeah.
fantasy darling of the preseason.
Great. So I
Good
didn't
pass
ask about-
block.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's like Mahomes doesn't need pass blockers. That's his only beautiful part is that he doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about couple more while I've got you.
Sure.
I know you don't like to give away your secrets.
That's okay.
What do you think about Josh Jacobs?
I could be lying.
That's fine.
That's a tough one for me. Again, I don't know. It's
I
very
was
tough.
fine with him until he played the first preseason game. Or the Hall of Fame game. And it's like, why is that guy out there? Well, they're just giving him reps. 5 touches and 4 catches?
Yeah.
Like what? You're just trying to kill him?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I also, from what I'm reading, they hate Kenyon Drake there too. So what are they doing? And
They should have a better offense. They got Devontae Adams. Like, they should be scoring points.
Yeah.
He should be...
Exactly. He should be good.
We're all talking...
Carr should have a good year this year.
We're all talking about scenarios where you don't want him as one of your 2 running backs.
Right.
If he's a flex, great.
Sure. Okay.
Unless you have stud wide receivers.
Okay.
If you start Justin Jefferson and Nick Chubb, and then you end up with who are you just talking about? Gibson or
Josh Jacobs.
Or Josh Jacobs
Yep.
as your second. Okay, well at least you've got Justin Jefferson to offset that.
Right. Jefferson, Tyreek Hill to start, and then it would be Antonio Gibson, Josh Jacobs on the other side. I don't like those running backs at all.
I feel like there's a little bit of a gap. Like, I think running backs in rounds 1, 2, 3, and then I think you can kind of wait. I think some of those middle guys, those Devin Singletaries, those Damian Harrises, the Cordero Pattersons, those guys, I'm like, I don't care if they go by me.
Okay.
But if I need them, if I've gone stud wide receivers, then I'm taking all those guys.
Oh, of course. If I'm starting this draft with Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, I'm not drafting another wide receiver.
Till 8?
Yeah, like I'm going 5. I'm going 4 or 5 running backs, no question. Maybe doing a tight end there, hoping in the 8th I can get fucking Tyler Higbee or fucking Zach Ertz.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then maybe a quarterback, and then I'm going to wide receiver.
Right.
But if I'm starting strong with wide receivers, if I'm starting with these guys, you know, like
sure.
it takes quite a bit. Now, so while I've got you here, really quick, your thought on tight end? Where do you sit on who are you looking at it as a tight end? You're not a big tight end guy.
No, so
I think it's actually one of your I think it's one of your most overlooked positions.
That's 100% the most overlooked position because There's only 12 of them that start.
Because you always go quarterback early, and I don't believe going quarterback early or tight end early.
I go quarterback. I'm usually around one of the turns.
Yeah.
So I take a quarterback when I like 3 running backs or 3 wide receivers, and I'm like, I don't care which one of these 3 I get. So let me just get the quarterback I want, and then I'll get one of those 3 running backs.
On the other side. You're going, okay, on either side of me, I've got 6 guys that are...
I could do it the other way and take the quarterback around later, but I'm going, well, I'll just get the quarterback I want, guarantee it, and then I'll get one of these 3 guys who I all value the same.
Okay, fair. The wide receivers in Kansas City. Thoughts? You like Juju?
Who do I take my shot on?
Yeah. Do you like any of them?
Hardman, maybe, for the rapport.
Does Hardman even get drafted?
With my last pick, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Great.
MVS for a deep shot. He's not Tyreek Hill, so that's who knows.
Yep.
Mahomes doesn't like to dink and dunk, and when he dinks, he throws to 5 yards off line. So that's not Juju's game. So someone's gonna be the guy.
Of course.
Someone's gonna get good value.
Absolutely.
If you pick the right guy, you're gonna get tremendous value.
Okay.
And who picks him?
Speaking of that, Green Bay thoughts.
Lazard, I think.
Lazard
would be the guy. Again, rapport is who I go back to.
Sure.
If they had taken a Drake London or a Treylon Burks or one of these guys, a Chris Olave,
yeah,
you might be able to convince.
And are those guys better than Christian Watson?
Yeah.
You have to tell me. I have no idea who they're all. I don't watch this garbage.
That's okay.
No. Okay, great. That's the only, looking at this real quick. That's all I got for you.
Like, you missed the days of Tua in Alabama throwing to Judy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, and Jameson Williams.
Did they kill everybody and throw for 400 yards a game?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that, a fucking all-star team?
Yeah.
What, who's Alabama?
That was Alabama, yeah. Jalen Hurts was the starter, and then Tua took his job. Jalen transferred.
Okay, good. I want that fantasy team.
Yeah, the same as the Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire LSU team.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That's it. That's all I got for you.
We'll see you guys at the draft in a week and a half.
No, we'll have a pre-draft one.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
Okay, don't listen to them. We'll see you guys next week.